Greetings, GameCola faithful, and welcome to the GameCola podcast. This is podcast number 58. Here with me today are Paul Franzen, Michael Gray, and newcomers Anna Bryniarski and Joseph Martin. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 video games of 2012. Everyone introduce yourselves.
Hello everyone, I'm Paul Franzen, I'm GameCola's editor-in-chief.
I'm Michael Gray, I'm the author of Inside the Guide and Fabricated News, which I have not written in several months.
Years.
Months.
You sure?
I wrote about it, I did the one about Zynga games.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you probably did a few right before the switch over to gaming outside the mainstream, didn't you?
Yeah, and then now we need to get rid of the news thing, because nobody updates the news. Hey, I wrote about Phoenix Wright 5.
No, I keep meaning to update it more with, just under-the-radar trailers and stuff like that. I just haven't. I think the news section has a purpose. We're just trying to find it. Newbies, introduce yourselves.
Thank you, Paul.
I'm Anna Bryniarski. I've done one review. Yay!
I'm Joseph Martin. I've done 1.5 reviews.
I get it.
I don't get it. Oh, is that the game you wrote? Yeah.
He reviewed Lion King 1.5.
And I'm also in the middle of writing another one.
Oh.
And
so it works in 2 ways.
Yes.
Or perhaps 2.5 ways.
Whoa.
Yeah, I saw that he stole my spot in a YouTube video recently.
He did. He is my new sidekick for
Why did I lose my sidekick rights? What is this? Oh.
Things change.
Are you just upset because I didn't want to do Ghost Trick with you?
Yeah, that's why.
I thought so.
Well, should we perhaps talk about the top 10 games of 2012 that none of us played?
Yay!
That is the topic of discussion today. As last year, I have our list of GameCola's top 10 games of 2012 as compiled during our year-end awards. I basically just counted all the votes for the game of the year and picked the top 10 vote getters, as it were. So I did actually have a quick question for us before we start talking about this. Has anyone on this call
Played a video game
played
this
any
year?
games from played any games from 2012?
Yes.
Okay, good.
2.
Yes, one of them.
At the time that you made the list, it was 1. But since it became 2013, I've played another.
Okay, this is good.
I have played 13 games that came out in 2012.
Wow.
I am the winner.
Yeah, because as you might have heard in a previous podcast, I have in fact played Borderlands 2. I've played a modern big title game in 2012. It's a major feat for me.
So
Actually, make that 14. I forgot about My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic.
Yeah. All right, so should we just launch into this?
Sure. Are we starting with number 10?
Yes, we are starting with number 10. This is a game that I'm 100% sure that nobody but me and Lizzo played, so off to a good start. Number 10 game of 2012 is Deponia.
I remember you talking about it. I haven't played it, so.
It's a point-and-click adventure.
Question mark?
It is a point-and-click adventure game from a company called Datalic, makers of The Whispered World, Edna and Harvey. About
Ooh, Edna and Harvey was horrible.
Oh.
I played that game, though.
Whispered World was awesome, and Deponia is even awesomer. You play as a kid living in a world that is made out of garbage. I guess kind of a WALL-E situation, except the world isn't just little cleaning robots running around. There's actual people living on here. And quite frankly, I voted it as my number 1 choice of the year because I think not only is it the best point-and-click adventure game since LucasArts games, I think it ranks up there. Like you could include it with those games.
Oh.
And I don't think I've said that about an adventure game since 1996. So high praise. Great story. I was actually laughing throughout the entire game, not just at a couple jokes. Humor that, unlike basically every point-and-click adventure game coming out of Europe right now, wasn't just based on pop culture references. Like, they actually had to be funny in and of themselves, which was very refreshing.
Fish Files?
I have a review up. Actually, it'll probably be up as you're listening to this, so you probably have already heard all this. But if you're going to play any adventure game ever, a comedic point-and-click adventure game, I should say, play this one.
You know, that's interesting because the other games by this company, I would say, Edna and Harvey's the one I played, which I didn't like, and the other game they made, A New Beginning Final Cut, which Nicola reviewed recently, were all horribly translated. So was Deponia actually, translated this time?
I would say it still had some translation issues, not nearly. I played New Beginning also, and it was nowhere near on that level. But I think what also helped was, particularly the main voice actor was just really, really good. Like, he was good to the point where even if a line was translated awkwardly, like, he made it sound natural. There were also a few issues, and again, I mentioned this in my review, so I shouldn't talk too much about it, but there were a few parts where it seemed as though German idioms were just kind of translated literally instead of actually localized, so that made for some very confusing lines of dialogue. But all in all, just a fantastic little adventure game. The sequel's out now, too. Hoping to play that soon.
So a lot of David Hasselhoff references, that's what you're saying.
It's actually, you star as David Hasselhoff. It's this weird post-apocalyptic world where, it's just David Hasselhoff clones everywhere. It's crazy.
Are you lying on the floor eating pizza?
I gotta say, this game really had me hooked on a feeling.
So, should we move on to number 9?
Sure.
Okay, well, I have a game I want to talk about. Mystery Case Files Shadow Lake, which is an FMV game starring Leah Thompson.
What? Leah Thompson?
What's her face from Back to the Future?
Oh, weird.
Is she the original one or the second one for Back to the Future?
No, she is. She plays Lorraine.
Yeah, the mom.
Oh, okay.
So she plays the mother.
Okay.
So she has been in all Back to the Future movies.
I wanted to watch those last night, but it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had to go to school today.
So, I mean, technically that's not last night. That was this
Sorry,
morning.
this morning. Sorry.
So, Jetty, what's number 9 on the list?
Number 9 is Persona 4 Golden. Never played it.
I own this game. A friend got it for me
time for number
Christmas
8.
on the Vita. But I don't have a Vita, so...
what? So you own it, but you can't play it?
I can't play it, no.
Oh.
I actually own 2 Vita games now.
Yay, now you can never play them.
Who got
them
ever.
It's like the opposite of my 3DS situation from all last year.
Yes, where you had the 3DS and no games.
Yes.
Okay, game number 8, Mass Effect 3.
Where's Michael Ridgway when you need him?
Oh, is that the game with the ending that people didn't like?
Yeah.
Yes.
They more than didn't like this ending. It ruined the entire franchise for them.
For some reason.
Yes.
Well, just because the main character was secretly a llama, it doesn't mean the series is over.
I think people would have preferred that, to be honest.
Just because the ending was, that's the true meaning of friendship.
The meaning of friendship is to punch people in the face. It's like, okay, I disagree with that ending, but it doesn't destroy the series forever.
What I thought was really out of place was the PSA at the ending where they told us all not to do drugs. Like, Sonic was there, and I wasn't comfortable with that kind of crossover. I mean, this is a serious game.
Was this the Cartoon All-Stars anti-drug thing?
I've watched that before. That was crap.
What? What? Whoa! Stop the podcast. Did you just say that?
Yes, I did.
I think the problem here is that you did not see all those cartoon characters in their respective shows. Because I remember
I've seen most of them in their respective shows. That one thing, though, that was not good.
The only thing keeping me from smoking drugs to this day was Michelangelo and the Smurfs coming together to tell me, how dare you? You're off the staff, that's it.
So, do we want to talk more about whatever stupid game it was?
No.
No. Let's talk about the drug thing, because I had no idea who the Smurfs were, and they start out that, show with the Smurfs,
Really?
which drove me crazy.
You didn't know the Smurfs?
No, and they built like a Smurf chain to climb up to the books so they could jump into the book.
Yeah.
And then Alf, I'd never seen Alf either, so they really started off with obscure characters.
They weren't obscure, they were wildly popular at the time.
I'd seen those characters before.
Okay.
I mean, the Smurfs were a little old, but they were still getting replayed.
The Smurfs were extremely old. Weren't they canceled for over 20 years at that point?
Well, they were played in syndication, though.
Oh, syndication on which channel? Because not Nickelodeon.
No, it would have been ABC or NBC or something like that on Saturday morning cartoons on
Are there any Nickelodeon characters?
I don't think so. I
think this predates Nicktoons.
Yeah.
Unless I'm mistaken.
So, are we on to number 8?
Okay, well, I mean, I'll check. It says 1990.
Oh yeah, the Nicktoons were 91, 92, I think. maybe even later.
Yeah. There's no Doug. There's
Well, I
no...
mean, I was checking this recently because I wrote a fanfic about what's that show?
Hidden Temple?
Legends of the Hidden Temple. I can't believe it was canceled in like 1993 and then replaced with Figure It Out.
They played it on one of the channels I had a few years ago, but then we stopped getting that channel, and I was really sad.
Yeah, Games and Sports.
Isn't
Yeah.
there a new Figure It Out on now?
Yeah,
They
think
have
so.
resurrected the show.
I saw
Yeah, I
it
thought-
recently and it was dumb,
Oh.
I thought.
Well, I mean, Figure It Out itself is just kind of dumb to begin with.
I don't
don't
like
know.
this podcast anymore. I don't want to be a part of this.
Paul, have you seen the show Figure It Out is based on?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, that's probably why.
I assume in the original, though, they didn't dump slime on people, so I'm not sure what your argument is that it could possibly be better.
They did not. No, my argument is that the quality of the show depends on you already knowing the celebrity panel.
Okay, that's fair.
And if you don't know that, the show is completely boring.
I mean, it was like Lori Beth Denberg and Danny Tamborelli every week. Okay. What else?
And
What
then,
else?
I mean, in the new one, they've got What's-His-Face from Victoria Justice as the main character, and
Yeah.
I've never really seen his show.
Okay, so everyone, to recap, game number 10 of the year, Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue. Number 9, Figure It Out. Who has number 7?
Wait,
do.
no, I thought it was 8. Oh, wait. No, that was Mass Effect. Never
I
mind.
didn't
Okay.
I didn't have a joke answer for 8,
Who
so I
has,
skipped it.
Doug. Okay, who has 7?
Number 7's Xenoblade Chronicles, or Xenoblade.
Oh.
Don't know how to pronounce it, and I have not played it.
The game with the weird sword. Like,
It is
Okay.
a Wii RPG
is it
that I believe people have been
Ah.
clamoring to get released in the United States for years and years. So it was a pretty big deal that it came out here, but apparently not a big enough deal to anyone on this podcast.
I think that they're coming out with the next one as of
That's-
today or something.
Right. They
Not
announced
new,
it at
as of
the
today.
Nintendo Direct press conference this
They
morning.
at least have talked about it. I don't know if they announced. I think they might have just talked about it.
So, is it in any way related to Xenogears or Xenosaga?
It apparently is part of the Xeno series. Xenogears, Xenosaga, Xenoblade.
Is it,
Yep,
is it actually?
same series.
Weird. How
Made
is it
by
related?
3 different companies. What?
How is it related at all? Like, I don't understand how they would relate whatever is happening in, like, this 2 screenshots that I've seen.
Is it possible it's like a Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3 kind of thing, where they're all independent of one another?
I don't think
Or
so.
were the
No,
other,
it's,
were the other
uh,
Xeno games...
They didn't look related, like, at all. Like, in any way. Paul.
The guy who made the Xeno series apparently died,
Aw,
and they dedicated the game to him. Okay.
well, that's nice.
I mean, I can accept that, but...
Well, no, it says it was originally titled Monado, Beginning of the World, but then they changed it to Xenoblade, in honor of the guy who died.
Okay, so it's not actually a
Zen-
continuation of the series then.
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
So,
It's like a different game, and they changed the name to make it part of the series.
do we have anything else to say about this game?
Well, I was going to say, I think part of the reason why people were clamoring for the translation was because there were absolutely no Wii games made in, 2011 and 2010.
2009.
Well, they were all building up for the Wii U.
I know, and they stopped making games for the Wii, which makes me very unhappy. They easily could have done, Super Mario Galaxy 3.
So, number 6.
I think that one's me.
Okay.
Number 6 is Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward.
I played that one.
That's the 10-10-10 game, right?
Based on the fan fiction by Diana Gray.
Yeah. Which everyone should go read. It stars me.
Stars me.
And it stars Nathaniel as the comedy relief. Poor Nathaniel.
So tell us about Zero Escape, Michael.
Oh, wait, do you want to actually talk about
Yeah, we actually got to a game that some of us have played, so...
I was getting distracted by the fact that Michael is the name of the character in Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue, so I thought you were talking about somebody else.
No, sorry.
Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward is a stupid title, but it's a good game.
The end.
Yay.
I think, it is going to sound very contrary, but I think it's a good title in a stupid game.
Ow.
And that was not intentionally contrary. I just completely despised the part of the game that I've played so far,
Yeah.
and I haven't been able to pick it up since because I was so upset with it. So there's that.
So did you actually like the name, or did you just...
I actually do think the name's kind of cool.
Yeah.
999 was also a cool name, though. And they've also, I don't know if have we talked about this before? They retroactively renamed 999 to Zero Escape 999.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they,
Zero Escape 999, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. I have a fun story about that.
Oh, really?
I wrote a walkthrough for that for game FAQs. So my walkthrough appears on Zero Escape 999, but it doesn't appear on 999.
Really?
Yeah, it only appears on the renamed version of the game, not like the original.
Weird.
Did they not let you cross-post it, or did you just not do it?
I'd have to resubmit it as a brand new guide, I think, actually.
Wow.
Because they will not cross-post.
Strange.
Oh, actually, wait, it looks like they completely renamed it. Huh, weird. In any case, it's a murder room game. It's a...
Murder room?
The murder room.
Sounds like my kind of game.
You
Yeah.
go to rooms and you get killed.
Sounds like my kind of game.
Yeah, visual novel combined with logic puzzles, stuff like that.
Oh, Professor Layton.
Yeah, you're making it sound boring, Paul.
It's because it is. It's terrible.
Oh, what? Oh, come on.
All right. Well, okay. Here's my problem with this game. All right. The first path that I went down.
You died.
You know, it was going pretty well. I was solving puzzles, only had to look up answers a couple times, and was also playing on easy mode, but that's okay.
Wait, you were playing on easy mode and
Of
you
course I
still
was.
had to look up the answers?
Have you met me? Of course I have. All right, but and then I was just trucking along, getting pretty far, and then the game just came to a crashing halt. The game just the game stopped and said you cannot play anymore. You have to go and do another path. Like, there was no actual ending. Like, I got to a part where one of the characters just out of nowhere started dying of a disease, and we don't have the cure for it. And then the game told me that I have to go play a different path that had the cure, so I could magically bring it into this completely separate branching story path.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's how the game works. You have to unlock things in some pathways. That's how adventure games work, right, Paul?
I don't know. I don't...
Paradox.
And then when I went back,
who can solve the disease without even knowing what causes the disease. That's what you
how
want
is he going to know what causes the disease? It's in a different path. How is he going to transfer between universes? Doesn't make any sense.
I tell you, but this is gonna get into spoiler territory.
Paul, you're not thinking fifth dimensionally.
And then I went back
It's
to the last
Yes.
decision where I had to decide whether I was going to trust or betray this person. I chose. What's the actual language? It's something in betray.
Ally and betray.
Ally and betray. Okay.
You have to choose whether to ally with your partner or betray your partner.
So in my first playthrough, I chose ally. The other person chose betray. So I went back to that exact point and chose betray this time, so I could get the different branching path. And then the other person chose ally for no reason. Nothing different had happened up until that point to make her change her answer. She just did. Doesn't make any sense.
You don't make any sense.
Yeah, Paul, it has to make sense that way. Otherwise, you won't be able to take the cure for disease to the other pathway.
Ugh. I have to assume that I just picked the two worst paths in the entire game to start with. I'm gonna go back to it, but. Ugh.
Well, to put things into perspective, the first path I got was the romantic path.
Ooh.
And the
Of
first
course.
path that Nicola Suprak got was, what was it, Paul?
I don't.
You don't remember, that was a while ago.
It was like a week ago. How much?
Okay, well, I wrote a review for the game. That's what I'm trying to remember. It's like speed dating with murder. That's how I explained it, because you get to choose to ally your partner or betray your partner. And usually somebody dies.
Wow, just like in speed dating.
I know. Well, I
both
think you might have been faking that heart attack just to get out of speed date, though.
Both you and Nicola were heaping a lot of praise in this game, so I trust both your judgments. So I can only assume that like I said, I just picked the complete wrong paths both times straight out of the gate. So I'll give it another shot, but right now it's leaving a bad taste in my mouth. The number 6 game of 2012.
Dating, dying, and fifth-dimensional storylines.
What do you mean fifth dimensional? Because that might be the case.
Fourth dimension is like going through 2 points on the same timeline,
Mm-hmm.
and then fifth dimension is like moving between two already split timelines.
Yeah, that's what happens, except the huge twist at the end, which I'm going to spoil now, involves time travel. So you're going to go back to a timeline, say like 50 years ago, for game number 3. And I'm looking it up now. Nicholas Suprak, when he played the game the first time, he got the dirty path. Where we have Tenmyoji and his grandpa videos, which are videos that only grandpa gets to watch. Grandson does not.
See,
he cannot watch these.
I clearly did miss the best paths. I also do appreciate that.
Grandpa videos, Paul. Is that what you're saying?
We don't need to talk about this. I do appreciate that the main character. Yeah, I just want to say real quick. I do appreciate that the main character has this tick that whenever he talks about cats, he has to speak in cat puns. I think that's an awesome character trait. Go ahead, Michael.
Well, I was going to say, the game does have a lot of fun jokes, like the fact that whenever he talks meow cats, he, talks like a cat. And another thing I was going to say is, when you beat the rooms not on easy mode, you get these fancy files, which often contain jokes. So, one file talks about the grandpa videos, and it clarifies it's like, these are not videos of grandpas, these are videos for grandpa to watch. Because the game felt that really needed clarification. And other random fun things, the person clarifies about are like the Good Burger reference, and they make a Good Burger joke.
Welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
Yeah. What you can do is, on the phone, you can call Good Burger, and somebody answers the phone with that line.
How is that legal?
I don't know. I think it's not.
Like, didn't they have a movie about that?
Yep.
So, anyway, is it time for number 5?
Yeah. I feel kind of bad because I've been doing my fair share of talking lately, but number 5 is a game that I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, I guess I can't be sure, but I don't think anyone else but me has played this game. Although, I guess someone must have, because it ranked all the way up here. Anyway, number 5. Hato Full Boyfriend. There it is. We all knew it was coming.
Yes.
Yes,
So, Hato Full Boyfriend, explain this.
It's a dating sim.
Yeah.
Originally made in Japan. Localized, just came out, I believe it was like either late January, early February last year.
It was pretty early.
It almost didn't make the cutoff for the awards, but thankfully it did. So, it's a dating sim where you play as a teenage girl going to a school for pigeons.
It makes sense.
So, are you a teenage human girl?
You're a human girl, yes, and you have, it's never really that explicit about the relationships. I guess it's more of a friendship sim, I would say. I think I played through nearly every path, and there was never, it was never really explicit, I'll put it that way.
I thought you said you were like people that, set you on fire and stuff.
Well, yes, that happens
And they
too.
bite your head off?
There are some people who are not really that good of friends, I guess you could say.
You mean some pigeons?
Yes, some birdies.
Are these normal-sized pigeons, or are these
They're normal-sized.
people-sized pigeons?
They're regular pigeons. It's actually it's interesting because the reason I wanted to play the game is just because of the crazy, wacky premise of dating sim about birds.
Oh, I thought they were...
Once you actually get pretty far into it, like, there's, like, a real story to this game. Like, there's a reason why everyone's a pigeon, and you're one of very few humans that you ever see in the entire game. Like, there's this whole deep storyline underneath all of it, and it's really cool.
Could you give an example of something which counts as deep as part of this storyline? Because I'm hearing pigeon dating.
Oh, well, now I have to actually remember it. See, I was hoping I could just use vague language and not have to remember why I liked the game.
Okay, well, here is my idea. This will be like the best game of 2013. What if they made a dating sim for beautiful kitties?
We're back on the kitties.
Or maybe puppies, because I think, you know what? Pigeons, it's okay, but, people like kittens way more than they like pigeons.
Yes.
I would play a game where, say, you go to the pound, and there are like 12 or so different kittens that you can choose to, and you have to make friends, get to know them, and then pick which one you want to take home with you.
Sure.
Okay.
There's a pigeon that's dead
And it
the
needs
whole
to be
time.
an FMV game.
There's a pigeon who it turns out was dead the whole time, and you help them move on to the next world. That's pretty deep, right?
But do they explain
That's pretty
why
deep, yeah.
everyone is pigeons?
Yes, they do.
They do? Do we get to hear it?
Do you want me to go
Is that
into
like
it?
a spoiler?
It's a spoiler in that you have to go through an ending for like almost all of the pigeons individually before you can unlock the actual story mode where it goes into this stuff. I mean, it's a post-apocalyptic world. Bird flu killed off almost the entire human population, and it mutated pigeons to. I mean, it gave them intelligence essentially, and the pigeons are kind of the master race of the world right now.
Wow.
Heck of a flu.
Bird flu.
Your character is a girl who is immune to this virus, so she's kind of sent to the pigeon school as kind of a liaison between the warring human and pigeon societies.
I
So, I mean,
have
there's something
actually seen those things before, but yeah, that's a good plot line.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not like super unique except for the fact that everyone's a pigeon. But I mean, it was not what I was expecting, and it was much better than I expected. I mean, I thought it was just gonna be a dumb joke game, and it wasn't that at all. Although I think a lot of people have that impression because they've just seen screenshots or they just play through one path of it.
So, question. I mean, are there any like FMV dating sims? I mean, just randomly, it's like you think those games would work well with FMV.
Not for you personally, right?
No, not for me personally. I'm just saying, it's like, well, why do FMV games always be adventure games? It's like, well, visual novels are games where the character just sits and talks straight to the camera. I think that'd be cheap.
Well, like, by FMV games, you mean ones specifically with, like, people acting it out?
Yeah.
Like the stuff that was on, like, the Jaguar in, like, the mid-90s?
Yeah, but, I mean, there are a bunch of new FMV games which have come out recently. I mean, I've been playing Mystery Case Files Shadow Lake, which stars the mother from Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and a bunch of other characters. But I just think there's something fun about seeing actual humans act out very badly.
Well, like, okay, the thing is, there's sort of a big deal in, like, the culture of people who play dating sim games that they kind of don't want a, quote, 3D girlfriend. They want a 2D girlfriend. Now, they do have some games more recently that are, like, animated, but it's still 2D characters. Like, it's drawings or, like, 3D renderings of drawing.
Okay, so when you say 2D, you're not referring to, like, their personalities.
No, I mean that they are drawn. They are not humans. They're not, like, people you would actually... Like, they're not acted by real human beings. They are... they may be voice acted, but they are, like, drawings. Like, they might have, you know, very fleshed out backstories and stuff, but they are not pictures of real people.
That seems odd. Any particular reason for that?
Oh, well, I mean, you know, real people have real imperfections and have real, like, I don't know, they're real people. They're not as much fun as fake people, basically. Like, that's kind of my understanding is whatever you want can exist in the 2D world, whereas in the 3D world you have to worry about an actual human being, which is no fun.
Okay. I seem to remember writing a fabricated news about celebrity dating Wii, which, you know, I can bring up, but, you know, it seems to me that there could at least be some cases where, like, having an actual photograph of the person could work just as well as a 2D picture.
Yeah, I mean, I think that theoretically such a concept might work, especially, you know, here in America, but like in Japan, there's kind of a reason why they continue with the anime characters.
Okay, yeah. I know anime is bigger in Japan than it is in the United States.
Yeah.
So I found an FMV dating game online. It was made in the mid-90s when FMV was actually a thing.
Was it for the 3DO?
I kind of feel like people like who release FMV games now are kind of doing it ironically, but I don't have a problem with that because they're awesome. Alright, so it's called Man Enough. And it surprisingly does not have a Wikipedia page, but I was able to find a quick article on PC Gamer about it.
Wow.
Here's how they describe it. Man Enough is a dating game, but it's really closer to interactive shock treatment. Something so bad, the mere thought of romance will make you want to vomit after playing it. Mean-spirited and more than a little misogynistic. And if there's one thing it has more contempt for than women, it's you, the player.
Ouch.
Yes. So this is going to be our next Let's Play on the GameCola YouTube channel.
Wow.
Well, I mean...
That sounds like something that Christian Porter would play.
I'm looking at screenshots right now, and I would quote you some of the dialogue from the game, but I don't think I can do that on the podcast.
Okay. Well,
We'll
I
take
mean, I
your
was
word
just
for
going to
it.
say, in casual games, I think there's a lot of FMV. No, I mean, I played like the top 20 casual games of 2012, and 6 of them had FMV sequences. And I don't think it was ironic. I think it was, well, they thought it was cheaper to use, to record characters that way rather than pay money for, like,
That's fair. Didn't you
animated characters.
Didn't you play a game where like they basically just made a 2-minute detective movie
Yeah.
in their dorms?
Yeah.
And then you just at the end you had to like decide who done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could see
From
that
2
taking
people.
like 20 minutes total from writing the script to making a video game out of it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they made 10 of them, and just two of them made me think that this was like a project for you know, like their film editing class,
Right.
because, you know, they actually went outside.
Whoa.
Well, no, they had one where it's in the snow and the detective is chasing after this culprit. He's chasing after the culprit, and you know, they have this intense chase scene, and then they go past a dumpster, and the culprit disappears, and he asks, you know, this random person, it's like, hey, did you see this thief run by? It's like, oh yeah, the guy with the sweater, and he's like, aha, you are clearly the thief,
What?
But I
because
think
he was. I mean, he was able to describe the front of the thief's sweater in extreme detail, which he would not have been able to do if he was just an innocent bystander. So it was
Oh, you mean that
really stupid
dashingly
criminal.
handsome young man with...
Yeah.
I think you can kind of see why an indie developer especially might want to make a game like that, because I bet it's cheaper if you already have the video camera to just
Yeah.
film footage than it is to actually make the graphics.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Mhm.
it's an interesting idea. I kind of hope we see more of it in 2013.
Maybe you will, Paul. Maybe you
Oh.
will.
You ready to make an announcement, Jetty?
I don't know, maybe I should start
Maybe he will, Paul. Maybe he will.
Are you suggesting that perhaps I should make my first game be a FMV game of some sort?
I think that goes
FMV.
without saying.
FMV kitten game.
No, okay, it's going to be an FMV dating game where I am all of the characters.
Yes.
Are you going to shave your mustache off for at least the female characters or not?
Who says they have to be female characters?
Ouch.
Well, okay,
Well, no,
because
just-
if you're...
just put some like flesh-colored makeup over your mustache, no one will notice.
Well, see, if I were to make it so that the main character, who you never see, is female, and
Yeah.
then I play all of the dashingly handsome, ruggedly good-looking...
I mean, I would pay upwards of $5 for this game. This sounds great.
I don't know. It would have... Well, I guess if it was an FMV game, it would meet the 120 megabyte criteria for upping the minimum price on a Xbox game.
Not too many
That's the
FMV
only-
games on Xbox Indie either.
That's the only problem I've had with the FMV games. It took forever to download them because of the video things,
Yeah.
video files, because they're all in HD now. All casual games are in HD at this point.
So number 4!
Yay.
Number 4.
Oh, wait, do we... Okay, yeah, so it's number 4 now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is mine. So, number 4 is Borderlands 2, which is the one game that I've played this year. It's the first new game that I've played in a long time. So,
Borderlands.
Yeah, it's
a video game.
yeah, it's like a 3D co-op RPG first-person shooter thing,
Okay.
and you shoot a lot of guns. There's a significant number of guns. Actually,
So wait, do you mean that you fire the gun, or you are actually aiming at the gun and shooting it?
both. You do
Wow.
you do shoot at a couple of guns.
Are there sentient gun enemies?
No, it was a big cannon. Well, actually, I think you have to shoot the guy who's controlling the cannon, and then you actually operate the cannon yourself.
Do cannons count as guns, though?
Yeah, duh.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
But no, actually,
Well, I mean, I remember having a debate whether, like, fences were a type of wall.
I think I remember hearing this. Is a fence a wall? Either that or another friend of mine posed the same question.
Wasn't that in like the GameCola chat room?
It might have
That
been.
was when we were discussing Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D.
Okay, that's right. That was during the live podcast.
No, actually, I quite enjoyed Borderlands 2. In co-op only, though. If you're playing by yourself, it's actually like stupidly difficult because you can't get behind most of the enemies. And like if you are dead, well, you just kind of die instead of being able to be revived. Like, it makes it exponentially more difficult. And also kind of boring because, I don't know, at least for me, I don't know, playing a game by myself is not as entertaining as playing together with...
So that's interesting. Like, so what appeals to you about this game isn't so much like the shooting mechanics as it is playing with someone else, and I guess the RPG aspects too.
Yeah, it's...
So...
Well, I do like... They did a lot of new stuff in Borderlands 2 versus Borderlands 1 that make the guns and shields and stuff more interesting. Just different effects that they have, or like the shields. Some of them are just shields. Some of them have spikes that will damage things that are attacking you. Some of them will like have an explosion go off when they are depleted. Like, they have different effects, and it makes it more interesting. And you shoot stuff with things.
Seems kind of violent.
A bit.
How many pigeon characters are there?
There's a dude with a hawk. Does that count?
Okay.
Actually, okay, that was
Only
another...
if the hawk is named Tobias.
No, it's Bloodwing.
The requisite Animorphs reference.
Yes.
Well, whenever there's a hawk, I call him Tobias. I'm sorry, that's just how I am.
But actually, I did also like that, spoiler alert, all of the characters from the first game are in the second game as like...
Really?
Yeah, well...
Whoa.
You don't play as them, but they are heroes. Like, heroes of old. And you have to go, like, find them, and they... Not that they help you on your quest, but more that, like, you are helping them, I don't know, settle issues. I don't know, I enjoyed it. So number 3.
Game number 3. Rated number 3 on the top 10 games list of 2012 is Kid Icarus Uprising.
I played that one.
Cool.
Tell us about it.
It was good.
Tell us more about it.
Number 2.
It was good. The end.
No, I want to hear about this game.
Yeah, why is it number
when I was
3?
calculating the votes, after, like, I'm going to say half the votes were in, this was going to be Game of the Year.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
it was getting a lot of votes from people. So, and I want to know what the deal is.
I thought I was going to be the only one, but I mean, like, no, it's like, I would wholeheartedly say that it's the best 3DS game that I own, and maybe that's out there right now.
Wow.
Why is it?
Wow.
It was,
What's 3D about it?
well, there's the flying sections where stuff shoots at you. It looks like it's coming at your face.
Whoa.
And it also looks really pretty.
I don't know, I guess I still feel like the 3DS is a gimmick.
And
I saw
is.
a 3DS a week or two ago, and it was weird to look at, and if there was like a glare on the screen, then I saw 2 images instead of seeing the 3D thing.
Yeah, you do have to kind of hold it in the exact right position.
Yeah.
And if you shift it just a little bit, you can't really tell what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
And if you watch it for more than 6 minutes, your eyes are going to hurt forever.
But that's okay, because the battery only lasts 8 minutes.
Oh.
But anyway, okay, so why is this game so great?
Yes.
well, it's hilarious is probably one of the biggest reasons.
Well, the original Kid Icarus was just, like a real side buster.
Was it?
It was hilarious, man.
I mean, I remember playing...
I mean, Kid was telling all those jokes left and right. It was great.
I always thought the Your Mama jokes were a little out of place in an NES platformer, but, maybe it's just not my style of humor.
He only says those jokes after he defeats the bosses, right? He's just trying to rub it in their faces.
I just thought it was a little much. I did like, however, that one of his big gameplay mechanics was throwing pies at people.
Are we talking about the same game?
I think he's confusing it with the Three Stooges for the NES.
I'm doubting your claim that it is a comedic video game.
The original one?
The original.
I'm talking about...
No,
Uprising.
I'm referring to Michael's claim.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. To be honest, what was Kid Icarus? It came out for the NES, apparently.
Yeah, it was just like, not really a scrolling shooter, but kind of. Like...
Oh, okay. Jetty and I would have been, say, 11 months old when this game was released, so I don't think we played it.
I did play it, later, and actually, very briefly, it was one of those games that I played, all day, every day. But, see, okay, when I didn't have the Nintendo 64, but they stopped making new games for the Super Nintendo, there was a period of my life where I went back and I basically, played through our collection of NES games, because a friend of my brother, his dad owned a 1600 movies, if you remember 1600 movies, the chain of movie rental places.
I do remember the Hollywood Video commercial where they sing about 5 days to rent these movies, 5 days, including new releases.
Well, okay, basically...
I'm not singing that on purpose, but I remember those commercials.
No, okay, there was a place called 1600 Movies, and they stopped renting NES games, and basically all of the duplicates he gave away to his friends. So we got some of these games, and I played Kid Icarus quite a bit.
Oh, that's cool. I remember in Blockbuster, our local Blockbuster went out of business, and they sold the games off at ridiculously high prices.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It made me sad. The thing I don't understand is why Blockbuster would rent out Game Boy Advance games.
It's weird.
Why wouldn't they?
Because, I mean, you only get to play that game for like 1 day. Is it worth it? No, I think the problem with the Game Boy Advance and DS games, renting them out, is that, well, you have to either delete the save file which is on there, or delete the save file which is on there.
Well, I mean, that was true for like Super Nintendo games back in the day too.
Like, but it's different compared to like only having one save slot, though.
Yeah.
Because like if you were to rent Pokemon, at least the original Pokemon, there was only one save slot, right?
Yeah.
There's still only one.
Oh, really? Oh,
Really?
that's stupid. Like, there's been technological like changes since then. They're no longer limited in space.
It's supposed to encourage you to interact with other players, I guess.
I guess that's true. I guess I kind of...
Because if they put in more than one file on there, then they'd be like, well, why can't I just trade between these two files instead of with someone else?
Yeah.
They also made it a lot more difficult to restart and delete your file.
I'm just saying, I mean, say, like you check out Earthbound and you really, really like it, and you want to check it out again, and the person at the store gives you a different cartridge. Well, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, that's a problem more indicative of longer games and RPGs in particular than I think of the particular format of the game.
Yeah. No.
But would that be a problem with Kid Icarus?
I was gonna say Kid Icarus Uprising.
It has files. It has 3. I don't know.
Oh.
That wasn't one of the major things that sold me on the game.
Okay, is that the reason why it's in the top 3?
I would assume that the reason it is in the top 3 is because of how it is written.
Okay.
The game is really funny.
The Yo Mama jokes that Michael was talking about?
It's kind of like...
Those were in the original.
Playing through the game is kind of like watching a Saturday morning cartoon series.
Yeah.
That's the back of the box quote. Now I'm sold on this game.
It's ridiculous. Like, the villains are like completely over the top, but like goofy, even though they're evil. And just the banter between Pit and Lady Palutena, who's the person in the background when he uses Final Smash and Smash Brothers. I don't know how to describe her any other. She's like only in this game and that one. They made up a lot of stuff for this game that wasn't in,
I've heard maybe a complaint that some of the jokes are a bit too meta, or however you pronounce it.
Yes.
You like breaking the fourth wall?
Yeah, like there's one joke where, you defeat, like, I'm going to go on a limb here and say you defeat, like, Cerberus, the giant 3-headed monster dog, because it's Greek mythology, and Pit says, boy, I'm gonna get a lot of Nintendo points for this.
I don't think that's how it works.
No, but I'm saying that's a funny joke. You guys laughed, right? So
yes.
That complaint is stupid.
No.
It's a good joke. Keep it.
He was shouting. That wasn't what he did when he defeated it. This was part of his battle cry when he started fighting the boss.
Yeah, because when he defeated it, he started talking about the dog's mama.
So does Kid Icarus live in a universe where Nintendogs exists?
Sort of. They make a lot of references and make a lot of, there are a lot of, it's like the world is set in sort of an ancient Greekish magical time, but then like they talk like it's modern day, but not like with pop culture references, but just like more like there's one part where they say they're going to order pizza for dinner or something.
Okay, I can appreciate pizza references. Okay.
I'm trying to remember some specific jokes, because a lot of them just work.
Jokes? I don't know.
No. The only references they make are to video games.
Oh, so it's all video game references.
Any like names called out.
So does Kid Icarus meet any other famous like Nintendo characters like Metroid or Zelda?
No, it's only in what they say and not in what they talk. Although they do mention how the enemies, like Clamatos, I think they're called, look exactly like Metroids, and the person's like, shh. This universe and that universe have nothing to do with each other, so don't start anything.
Yes.
Well, obviously, Kid remembers them from his time he spent in Super Smash Brothers. So that's where he met the Nintendogs and everything, and that's how he can make all those cool references.
Yeah.
They reference Brawl too, and they say that he wasn't invited to Melee.
Okay.
I had no idea that the game had that kind of tone. Like I guess this must not have been in the marketing materials or none of the like trailers or anything I watched. They
do kind of market it as being pretty serious. But
yeah, that's the impression I had. That's why I kind of dismissed it because I didn't. But this makes it actually sound kind of interesting.
It's really funny. There's only one anything wrong with it, and that would be the controls. The way you have to, it's not like it responds fine. It's not that, but it's like the way you have to hold it it bothers some people's hands.
Well, so is this the one that, did it come packaged with a 3DS stand, or was the stand sold separately? Okay, it came packaged with it. Cool.
They invented the stand because the game was killing people's hands. Which I think says something about the controls of this game when they have to make a stand specifically for it.
It does have other control options, which no one ever brings up. It has other control options.
I think it also says something about the 3DS itself, too, because isn't this, like, the second contraption that people have had to release in 2 years to make the... Like, they released that peripheral that added a second joystick to it, too, a second thumb pad thing last year.
I don't understand the point of that, because the first thumb pad doesn't work at all. Why would you want a second one?
Because the first one doesn't work.
Well, no, I mean, the second one is the same exact style as the first one. Just give me a D-pad.
I'm just picturing, like, in, like, D-pad. 5 years, the 3DS is just going to be, like, this hilarious Frankenstein monster. I can't wait.
3DS does have a D-pad.
Well, why can't I use that in any of the games? Because, I mean, I'm playing Super Mario Brothers whatever, and... No, I'm playing Wait. What do you call the Paper Mario game for the 3DS?
Sticker Saga.
Yeah, Paper Mario stickers are awesome. And you can't control with the D-pad. They make you use the bad joystick, which doesn't work and hurts my thumb. And is not sensitive at all, so you have to push it all the way to the right to get him to move.
That's I use, like, on New Super Mario Bros. 2, the joystick would be, like, terrible for that game. But I used the D-pad and it worked fine. I mean, like, it let me use it and it worked fine.
Okay, then maybe something's wrong with mine, because it did not let me use my D-pad.
That's the New Super Mario Bros. 2. I don't think it does use it for Sticker Star. You can use it for, like, the menus and stuff, though. I don't have a problem with the
I can check this out.
I don't know. My control stick on the 3DS works okay, I guess.
Yeah, I'm on team the joystick is fine. Sorry, Michael.
Okay, fine.
It worked okay with. I've been playing 3D Land, Mario 3D Land, and it's been working alright.
Really? Because isn't 3D Land the game where you die if you're trying to play the game in 3D and you can't make the jumps?
Oh, I haven't had that trouble at all. I've been leaving it on 3D mode specifically because I thought it made it easier to play.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier for me.
But it could just be me and Joe.
You leave on 3D mode to make the game easier?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I had to turn it off 3D mode whenever it got difficult because I would miss every single jump.
I've found that the game was designed around it.
Well, I mean, there are even like certain screens where it says 3D on there to let you know that you have to turn them on 3D, or else you won't be able to figure anything out.
Okay, well maybe it's because I wear my pirate eye patch all the time. It doesn't really work well.
I mean, I guess the 3D of the 3DS might just be sort of a person-to-person thing more than anything else.
Yeah. I mean, Michael, you're definitely not the only person who's criticized it. Christian's always railing against it whenever he talks about it.
So number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2. The Walking Dead. I've actually not played this game. I've watched a walkthrough for it, and it looks pretty interesting. The story's pretty good, and I like how you can replay the game multiple times for different paths. It's kind of cool.
Paul, I thought you had some complaints about it.
I was going to let other people talk first, but I do have opinions on this game.
I preferred the Jogging Dead, which I thought was more fast-paced.
That's my favorite Kinect game.
The briskly strolling dead.
There's the
Well, zombies
unicycling
don't
dead.
move quickly. That's how zombies work.
The power walking dead. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
The Power Walking Dead.
Super power Walking Dead.
I like The Walking Dead, but I did not like the way it was sold to me. I feel like reviews talked up so much the importance of the choices you make and how emotionally attached you will be to everything, and I didn't get like any of that out of the game personally. What I played was a game with a really cool story, but with adventure game puzzles that amounted to pick up the one item and use it on the one hotspot, and choices that I didn't really think like had much of an impact. Like, it seemed like the cool thing about the choices was that you got to make them, but after you made them, like, there wasn't really a whole lot of follow-up. And I know I'm probably angering a lot of people right now who have played and loved The Walking Dead, but I mean, that was kind of my experience. Like, the big thing people really talk about is in the first game, this isn't really a spoiler, there's one big decision where you get to decide who lives and who dies. Like, that's the thing people go back to. But, like...
Whoa, wait a minute. He has to decide whether his best friend lives or dies.
No, you have to decide between two different people. There's two people you can save. But you can save, but you can only save one of them, and the other gets eaten by zombies. Which, I mean, that sounds pretty cool. You have, like, 5 seconds to decide which of these people's lives is going to continue and which isn't. Neat idea. Problem is, by the third episode, the other person ends up getting killed anyways.
Yeah.
and like up until that point, like that neither character really like has much impact on the storyline one way or the other. So I mean, it was really cool, intense moment, but then after it, like immediately, like there was nothing.
Cool.
So that was my experience with the game.
I was just making a stupid Simpsons joke. Sorry.
It's fine.
The one with Ron Howard, and that's how he pitches his show.
The Jogging Dead?
So, I just put in, new Super Mario Brothers 2, and it did not save anything, which is making me rather upset now.
You have to save your game specifically. You can't just turn it off.
Oh, how do you save your game specifically then?
I think you just push the start button, and there's a save button.
Did you get to any of the castles?
No, I got to like 2 levels.
Oh, yeah. It saves your progress after every castle automatically. But then otherwise you have to quick save.
Can we take a moment to talk about how none of the Mario games made our top 10 list?
Well, no, but Mike,
they're not very good, Paul.
But Paul,
well, no, see, this is going to be very interesting.
But the number 1 could be a Mario game. We don't know that yet.
That's true.
Except that
only,
it isn't.
Only a few select people in this podcast know what the number 1 is, but now, people who are listening to this have already read our year-end awards article, which is separate from the podcast, and they will have noted that Mario games picked up several awards during the year-end awards themselves, but somehow did not make the top 10 list, which I maybe speaks to some issues with our voting process.
Maybe.
But
I think part of it is just Mario, in terms of overall quality, is like a little bit better than, maybe more than a little bit better, but just still sort of middle of the road. It does a lot of things really well, but when it comes to being an overall good game, it isn't necessarily outstanding in its own right, probably partially because it's got all of the great stuff in its history that keeps inevitably being compared to it.
Yeah. But I'm talking more like, in our awards, a game can win Best Portable Game, say, and then it does not make the top 10, but other portable games do.
Yeah, ones that weren't the best, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, like, Kid Icarus, the number 3 game of 2012, did not win Best Portable Game.
I'm still curious who actually played that.
Not me.
But anyway, this is something Jetty and I have been talking about behind the scenes, and there will be some restructuring to our year-end awards next year. We don't need to talk about that, though, because it's not very interesting.
Well, I purposely abused the end-of-decade awards so that the seagull from Legend of Zelda Wind Waker won, but I think everybody figured that out.
Well, it won the Best Character of All Time award, if I recall correctly. And then,
I said it should win the Best Character of All Time, because that was clearly one of the best characters in Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and the only reason they're remaking that game.
So, like, okay, was there a legitimate, like, was it actually a character, or was it just, like, a thing in the background? Because I haven't played
It's more like a thing in the background.
Oh.
But that's how Link knows where his sister is, because his sister is best friends with the seagulls.
Oh, okay.
And so when he's advancing on the bad guy's tower, he's like, wait a minute, that one tower has seagulls hanging around outside it. That must be where my sister is.
So wait, Zelda has a sister?
No, this is Link, the dude.
The main character.
No. The main character's boyfriend. Zelda has a boyfriend, right? They didn't break up.
It's called The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, it's about
Link.
it's about Zelda.
No.
It's about Zelda, yeah.
Like,
Well, it's about...
because we were talking earlier about how Kid Icarus meets with Metroid and Zelda and, all the other...
Yeah, well, I think the Wind Waker is interesting because Zelda doesn't appear until, 6 hours into the game, and she actually doesn't get mentioned before then either. It's kind of strange. It's like, why name the game after her when she's not really an important character?
Yes, like in the original game where she only shows up at the very end.
Wait, I never played the original game.
Oh.
Well, I did. I have the gold cartridge version of the original game, believe it or not.
Yes.
There are some games where Zelda is the star.
Really?
Such as?
The CDI.
Yep. That would be Zelda Adventures, and I forget what the other one is. Possibly Wand of Gamelon? Is she the star of Wand of Gamelon?
One of those.
Yeah,
there's three of them.
There's three of them. She's star of two of them. And she has to save Link because it's a crazy turnabout.
Zelda's a nice character.
Excuse me, princess.
Okay, so I'm failing to find the third gold coin on the first level of New Super Mario Bros. 2, which this is the second time I've replayed the level and I can't find it anywhere.
Michael, you never pay attention to the podcast.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, if you try to do the double tap to make Mario run with the joystick, that is never going to happen.
Do what now?
Wait, you can what?
Hey, I have an off-topic comment.
How do you make Mario run in these games? Usually in the NES games, you hold down the B button.
No one is paying attention to the podcast. Everyone's playing video games and making cookies.
Sorry, my sister made cookies. My sister made me make cookies, actually. Sorry. That's why I was gone for so long.
Oh.
Now we all want cookies.
Oh.
Sorry. My sister is eating them all.
What kind of cookies?
Yeah.
They were just little ones from store. They were just like pre-made frozen ones.
Oh, cheating cookies.
That's not really
they're cheating cookies.
Is it?
It's putting them in the oven and watching them for 15 minutes until they're ready so my sister can eat them all.
I recently saw, I know about boxed brownies or whatever, you buy a package and then you mix in eggs and oil and you make it. But apparently now they have brownie mix that's literally you shake up the bottle and you pour it out.
Ugh.
Yeah.
No.
Right? You don't have the 12
the
seconds to crack
I guess
two
I can't
eggs?
talk. I have spray margarine sitting in my fridge, so...
How does that even work?
It's a spray bottle with margarine. It's
Okay.
I find it much more convenient than having to actually spread the margarine by myself.
That is,
okay.
Fun fact, when I worked at the movie theater, that's what we used in order to get the salt on the salted pretzels.
Wait, how does...
Wait.
Spray margarine. We would put spray margarine all over the pretzel and then dump salt on top of it, and that's how you got the salt to stick to
I thought you were
salted
trying to say that you
pretzels.
had some sort of liquid salt.
Yeah.
Spray
That
salt.
would be quite interesting.
It comes in an aerosol can, you just spray the salt on. Anyway.
Make anything salty.
Yeah.
So should we talk
How is
about
this
the
not
number
already
one game of
No,
2012?
we're busy talking about spray salt.
Sorry.
Was there a number one? I thought we just stopped at 2.
Yeah.
Well, I
Saying
was going to
none of
say,
us play these games.
my sister... never mind.
Does she want cookies?
My sister always ate the cookie dough rather than, actually cooking the cookie because that was too much work.
Why ruin perfectly good cookie dough by cooking it?
I know.
I think that's a valid point.
So I'm questioning Anna's sister here.
Yes.
That's good cookie dough.
I don't know.
So number
You
one.
can only eat... Okay, yeah, what's... I believe Joe has the number one game of 2012, GameCola's Game of the Year.
Woohoo!
And the number one game is... Journey! Yay!
Hooray.
Yay.
What system is that for?
That is for PlayStation 3.
Yeah, it's
Okay, never.
See, okay, I've heard so much about it, but the thing is that I don't own a PlayStation, so I can't buy a PlayStation Network game.
Well, I was saying I've never heard of the PlayStation 3. That's,
Oh.
a Journey.
Oh.
Yeah,
They're a band, right? Phil Collins.
Yes.
So Journey.
I'm sorry, but I stopped believing.
Isn't
one
that
of those, like,
I thought that's the Eagles.
No,
meaningful.
it's not the Eagles. That's Joe Walsh.
The Eagles were the one. Well, who are the ones that don't stop thinking about tomorrow?
Oh, no, that's not the Eagles either. Wait.
Anyway, Journey.
Yes, don't stop.
2013.
Anyway. Okay, it's an indie game.
Jetty, that is a horrible rendition. Come on, put more effort into it.
No.
Come on,
It's
like the slogan song in my home state of California, because our teams are horrible, but they won the World Series, and that was their theme song.
Was it?
Don't stop believing.
What?
Why are we singing Glee songs?
Don't stop believing.
Stop,
Okay,
please.
so
Oh my
Journey, the video game.
Thank you so much, Anna. You should be on every podcast.
gosh. Freshman year, that was our school's theme song. Oh my god, it was so bad.
No, we need that person to just stay here, and whenever any of us is doing anything awful, just say stop. It's good.
Right.
What's the song from High School Musical?
Let's not bring that up.
So, video game.
Journey.
It's an indie game. It's apparently supposed to be really good and interesting, and I've never played it because I don't have a PlayStation 3.
I think one of the things it's like this. Is it open world? I don't know. It's a game where you wander around in the desert.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving it much service here because I haven't really played the game, so I'm just going based on reviews and screenshots. Walk around the desert, solve puzzles. But I think the thing that people really like and find really interesting about this game is its multiplayer component. In that you have to work together with other people to solve puzzles, but you can't actually communicate with them. There's no voice chat whatsoever.
Interesting.
And I was reading, I think it was an interview with the lead developer, and she was talking about her inspiration for doing that. And her inspiration was playing games online with people. and yeah, I mean, that's basically it. And how awful it is because of the voice chat component and how awful people are on, Xbox Live in particular.
Is there a sort of communication in the way that they have it in Portal 2, perhaps, where like...
I think you can make noises.
Okay, because like in there you could like point to a spot and stuff.
And like wave, and I think you can do like bro fists and stuff too.
Yeah, like you can do a dance.
I know you can make noises. I'm not sure if you can do bro fists or point at things.
What kind of noises,
Like,
Paul? Are like Zelda noises or Mario noises? Because you're giving me bad thoughts here.
That's all on you. I had nothing to do with that.
I mean, can you just... Is happy noises like woohoo, or sad noises like
all I know are noises in general. Like I said, I haven't actually played the game. I didn't vote for it, so don't look at me.
Can you do a telephone noise? Yeah, something like that.
So the number one game, Journey, that none of us have played.
Hooray.
Maybe this podcast needs to be restructured for next year too.
Well, like, hold on.
People who have actually played the games that are on the list.
Should I just start dumping people who happen to be on Skype right now into the chat? Saxdude.
Oh, Saxdude. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Should we randomly drop him in the chat?
Let's do it. Sure.
Only if you can sing backup.
Hold on.
Who are we calling?
Remember Saxdude?
Yes.
One of the GameCola faithful who gave us their Skype name.
Yeah, well, he did a great saxophone rendition of the podcast.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Should I message him first or just randomly drop him in the conversation?
Just call him.
Okay.
Suddenly I've been dragged into the podcast, I guess.
Yeah, well,
Awesome!
Well, you know what? We're kind of upset that you think that fences are not a type of wall. I'm still hung up on that, gotta be honest.
Wow, I've jumped into this in a weird spot.
Saxdude, we're talking about the best games of 2012. What was your favorite game from the past year?
From the past year,
It came out
2012 was a bit hit and miss with me, honestly. I don't think I saw anything was particularly that extravagant.
Should we give him our top 10 list that we just did?
Yeah,
that might help, yes.
We've been talking about our top 10 list based on the Game of the Year votes from the GameCola staff. I'm just going to read them off, and if you have anything to say about them, stop me. All right, so number 10, Deponia. Number 9, Persona 4.
Oh, Persona.
Yes, we have someone who's played Persona.
Okay. What was good about
Tell
it?
us about it.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly well versed with it. I've seen a couple of playthroughs. I saw a webcomic that takes the Mickey out of it, and that's hilarious. And
Ooh, question. What does takes the Mickey out of mean? I've heard that like 5 times, and I don't speak British, so...
Okay, takes the Mickey out of. Basically parodies everything about it. Everything. Each and every conceivable plot point, character, line that is said, everything.
So it has nothing to do with Mickey Mouse.
No.
Because that was where my mind went.
Yes. Persona 4 has not been demouse-ified. I probably made that word up.
This was an amazing decision.
So, yeah, well, we haven't heard from you in a long time, but then I saw you on, so I decided to...
I've seen you on and off on Skype, and I'm just going, I guess the podcast has been going along pretty well without me. One of these days I'll be online and suddenly Skype call, and what do you know? It happens.
Hooray!
Yeah, we haven't had a guest in quite a while, and yeah, we were discussing our number one. Well, I guess we can continue with the list, but basically we had trouble talking about one of our, well, the number one.
One.
So.
One of.
Yeah, well, most.
We have the list of top 10. We were able to talk about at any length, maybe 3.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna keep going. Number 8, Mass Effect 3. Number 7, Xenoblade Chronicles. Number 6, Zero Escape: Virtue's Last Reward. Number 5, Hatoful Boyfriend. Number 4, Borderlands 2. Number 3, Kid Icarus Uprising.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, The Walking Dead. And number 1, Journey.
Ooh.
Oh.
Have you played Journey?
I have seen a lot of footage of Journey, so I can understand that it's at the top.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
Also, incredibly awesome long scarf trailing through the desert, all that kind of awesome stuff.
Yeah. Can you say a few words about your impressions of it?
It looks incredibly open.
Well, we have a very limited understanding of what happens in the game.
Yeah, what does that mean, open? Like...
I look at it and I just go...
It's willing to give you a hug when you're feeling lonely, or what?
I would say that.
It's always there to talk to you. It's
I look at footage of the game and I just think it's like the game is asking you to go wherever you like and hope you find something. It's basically going, here, you can go wherever you want, have fun, I think. My understanding of it is very limited, but it looks fairly, yeah, I think open is really the only word I can come up with. It just looks like...
So it's just big and empty and nothing's in the middle.
Possibly? I probably should really research this a little bit better.
Do you know anything about the multiplayer?
Yeah.
Because we were talking a bit about
Well,
that.
I now know that it exists, so it's got that.
I don't know, I keep hearing people talk about the multiplayer, but I don't really know what about it sets it apart.
Well, that's it. I think the idea is just the idea of trying to work together to solve a problem with this other person whom you've never met, who you will likely never see again in your life, and having to do that without actually being able to communicate with them in any typical way. I think people find that very interesting.
If the online multiplayer of Ratchet and Clank All for One is anything to go by, that's not going to go well. Yeah, trying to play Ratchet and Clank online? Yeah, well, some random person will join your game and then just jump out in the middle of a boss fight. That really helps.
Saxdude, have you any games from 2012 you want to talk about?
About a third of the way through the list, so I'm still having a squeeze.
I played Brave Temple Run for the iPad.
You nominated that.
I couldn't convince myself to pay 99 cents for that.
I had a gift card. I was just like, well, I have like, I don't know, $2 left. I might as well. So, yeah.
All right, tell us about it.
The best way to go into a situation. I might as well.
Yeah. But it's a lot easier, or at least it seems a lot easier than the original Temple Run.
Mm-hmm.
And, what else?
Is it based on the hit movie Brave?
Believe it or not, yes.
Is it?
It is.
Oh, okay. Like,
Whoa.
Yeah, it's sold by
Movie
Disney.
Now? Wait, weren't Paul and I going to argue about this at one point, whether or not Brave is a good movie?
This is a video
But,
game.
what else can I say about it? And
yeah.
Can you tell me what the gameplay of Temple Run
that's pretty much all I can say. Well, in Temple Run, it's basically just a game where you're trying to get away from evil demon monkeys who are chasing you. because you've stolen an artifact or whatever. What you do, it's an iOS game. You just tilt the Apple product, I guess. You tilt it to the sides to veer to different sides of the path. You have to slide on the screen to go to the right or to the left. You have to swipe your finger up.
Downwards to duck and swipe upward in order to jump. Whoa! I just opened Temple Run on my iOS right now. Temple Run 2 is out now.
Yeah, my sister got that one too.
With waterfalls, zip lines, minecarts, and Mega Monkey.
Yeah. It's that one is pretty good.
But it's no Brave Temple Run?
It's no Brave Temple Run. Because it's Brave. I love Brave.
Games of Temple Run, which is a bit too many.
It is.
No, my question about Brave, I thought the only new mechanic was that you can shoot at archery targets.
There's that.
Other than that, it's sort of like the exact same thing as Temple Run.
Pretty much. And there's one more where you can, there's a power-up that changes the setting, and it just gets darker, and there are will-o'-the-wisps everywhere, and you just collect them, and then it goes back to the regular scenery. And then in the corner, it might have a little will-o'-the-wisp icon. If you click on that, it makes everything go slower.
That's
it's
cool.
not that, it's, I don't really like that mechanic so much, because I've gotten so used to going really fast, and then slowing it down just makes me lose.
No, I was going to say, one of the techniques people use is when the game goes too fast, you'll purposely run into a wall just to slow your character down.
Yeah.
That's a strategy, because if you run into a wall twice, the evil demon monkeys get you, but if you run into a wall once, you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played this game, so I don't know what it looks like, but there was a game, Cannabolt.
Cannabolt? Isn't that what Al is? A Cannabolt?
Wait, Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah.
Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf?
Richard Moranis. What?
What?
Wait, what are we talking about?
Okay, there was a
Games of 2012.
Who just accused Rick Moranis of being a cannibal?
I
And why?
Not. No, Jetty brought up Shia LaBeouf, so I brought up what's his name?
Rick Moranis?
Rick Moranis?
Yeah, there we go.
Star
Wait,
of
you can't think of one without thinking
Love
of the
Rick
other.
Moranis.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Great. What has he been in recently?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I thought the most recent was The Cats and Dogs 2, which did not fare very well.
Well, I don't think we should get into this. Last time we talked about Rick Moranis on the podcast, we got really angry comments about it. We accused him of being lazy because he did not participate in the Ghostbusters video game, and there were some really staunch Rick Moranis defenders.
I would just like to make the comment that I love Rick Moranis. He's wonderful.
Yeah, he's
so
great.
dreamy.
No, not like that, no.
I think he was the only character in Spaceballs who was legitimately funny.
Oh.
That's right, I went there.
Okay, so
Spaceballs is a horrible...
Yeah. So does anyone else have a game from 2012 they'd like to talk about?
Well, I've had a look back through the list now, and apart from the aforementioned 2 Doctor Who games I saw, which were probably the only thing on the first page that actually took my interest, let's see, what do we have here? Sonic 4 Episode 2, fairly okay, better than the first episode, but the ending was awful, because it wasn't an ending. It just went, okay, Dr. Eggman's been defeated, but the Death Egg's still there, so it hasn't blown up, so technically he still hasn't lost. So
let's just
the
so
game
they can have another game.
Yeah, apparently. Episode 3 better be decent, or else that whole game just didn't happen.
Isn't that what they say about
just like Sonic Chronicles was supposed to have another game?
Yes. And it's the only game where canonically Knuckles actually has a relationship with someone who's not already dead.
Wait, what? He dates dead people in the other games? Is that what I'm hearing?
People keep on pairing up Sonic characters and then they go, oh, this character's paired with that character, blah, 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 blah. What about Knuckles? All of the people he's been paired with are either in the comics or people who aren't actually alive, but they're there because they're echidnas. I don't know.
Echidnas?
What?
So here's a related headline I found online. Sonic Team has no plans for Sonic 4 Episode 3.
Oh.
As of
Sonic
March.
Whatever. There you go. It's official.
It sounds like when did episode 2 come out? Because this sounds like right after it came out, they said, nah, it's probably not happening.
Well, that's the thing. Episode 3, I honestly think needs to happen, 1, so we can have proper lock-on, 2, so the game can actually be complete,
Yes.
and 3, so you can actually play as Tails by himself or Sonic by himself in regular levels. Because the whole team mechanic, while it's nice, it doesn't really allow you to play the game normally as Sonic. And speed boosters everywhere. When was that released? May 15th. Okay.
Well, wait, it came out in May, but in March they already knew nope, it's not happening. Jeez. I mean, that's when this article's dated, March 13th.
Don't say it'll be a success until after it's been released.
They're saying it's going to be a failure before it
That's happened sometimes.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
It's hilarious.
Usually not that many months before.
Square Enix would just take the hint and not make Final Fantasy 13-3. Anyway, games of 2012. Street Fighter Cross Tekken, bad box art, Mega Man, what on earth? Street Fighter Cross Mega Man, good idea, but needed a password system. Oh hey, it's got that now, excellent. And that's about it from me.
2012, quite a year in video games.
Most of which we can't even think of.
Paul, Inappropriate Llama Disaster.
Yes, that was an excellent 2012 release.
Oh, so, okay, were there any games that were nominated but not voted for?
Not voted for at all?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because there were a lot of games nominated.
There were a lot for Game of the Year, but that's just because the terrible, terrible way I set up that category, which I will not be doing again.
I think it was terrible. I think the terrible part was Cherry Tree High Comedy Club, which I nominated for Best PC Game. That was a pay nomination. It wasn't like a real nomination. I just felt bad for the game. And then I think Paul's like, well, Michael really loves this game. And then you put it on the nominations list for Game of the Year.
Well,
I was like, no, I didn't actually like the game. I was just feeling sorry for it.
I did appreciate, Michael, and this is probably confidential information, but your number one Game of the Year choice was the Grunt's Beard of Bees.
Yes.
How funny, if I search Inappropriate Llama Disaster, that game comes up. How does that even work?
So there were a lot of games for Game of the Year that didn't get votes just because I included so many games on the list. Other than that, I think actually, for the big categories, pretty much everything got votes. For Best PC Game, PlanetSide 2 and Super Monday Night Combat were both nominated, but nobody liked them enough to actually vote for them. That's about it, actually.
No.
Okay, so, I'm looking it up here. Rick Moranis has not been acting in anything since 1997. Since then, he just did voice work.
Okay.
He must have retired from, on-screen acting, or nobody's giving him many job offers, which I find hard to believe.
Yeah.
A couple other random games from 2012 that I enjoyed are Diabolical Pitch, which is a Kinect game where you're a very famous baseball player on the verge of retirement sent to a hell dimension to throw baseballs at demons. That was really awesome. That was one of my favorite games of the year. The other one is an iOS game called Space Team that only came out in December, I think. It's a multiplayer-only game, and you have to play with people in the same room as you, but you all have to have your own iDevices. And basically there's a control panel in front of you and words scrolling at the top, and it's basically like space technobabble. So it'll say engage hyperthruster, and either if you have the hyperthruster, you have to push the button, and if you don't, you have to shout the command to your friend so they do it instead.
Wow.
So it's basically just this complete string of madness and nonsense being shouted at one another until you pass the level.
Interesting.
It's a lot more fun than I'm making it sound.
Space Cases?
Space Team.
Cool. Wasn't there somebody with rainbow-colored hair?
Yeah, and then
who later went on to star in Firefly.
I was going to say.
Cool.
Yep.
Oh, I was going to say she later went on to star as Rainbow Dash in My Little Pony, but no. Let's not have any sense of continuity.
Loose connection, but entirely possible.
They both have rainbow hair. How is that a loose connection? How many other characters are there with rainbow hair? Is it that common?
Maybe.
I had green and purple hair at one point. Close.
That's not rainbow. We have all the colors of the rainbow.
Okay. Jetty, do you have any reader mail for us?
We do. We've actually, because of the live cast and such, have been putting off reader mail for quite some time. We have a backlog going all the way into the beginning of December. So.
Yep.
It's better than bad. It's good.
It's log.
Take one of them today.
Okay, so we're going to do some catching up. From December 2nd, 2012, we get an email from Aubrey Peabody. Podcast topic, adventure games.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hey, GameCola crew. It's been a while since I've commented on a GameCola article or listened to a podcast. I have some catching up to do. Anyway, I wanted to ask a question. What are some good first-person adventure games? Preferably for PC? I've really been missing those old point-and-click adventure games with choppy animations, eerie music, and weird voice acting. Like the older Nancy Drew games or older CSI games. I actually sort of like the newer versions of those games less, just because they all seem so much smoother. Anyway, any suggestions? Thanks, Aubrey.
So why does this person hate third-person adventure games?
Because they're boring.
Well,
I'm not a big
okay.
fan of King's Quest, I guess.
Personally, I'm kind of racist against first-person adventure games.
Well,
What about second-person adventure
Second
games
person's
then?
fine.
Wait,
That's great.
how do you-
Like
how would that even...
a
How do
choose
you
your own
do-
adventure book.
Yeah, but
What?
how would you play...
If it was second person, that would be like you're a person in it, but you're not the main character. But you're watching the main character move around and controlling them, despite the fact that you're a different. What?
That's actually
What's going on?
So wait, so
No,
you're
that's-
playing Lifeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Aubrey, I would like to recommend to you Lifeline for the PlayStation 2.
No, okay, and I will recommend Strange Love's Vampire Boyfriends, which was a second-person game that was released last year.
She did want second-person games.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's not an adventure game, though.
They
so.
wanted new, old school first-person.
First-person games
Yeah.
specifically.
I can only think of third person, like King's Quest
Yeah.
or Machinarium. So it's I'm lost on that.
Yes.
The
The
only
Mystery
first-person
Case Files
adventure
series. Dream Chronicles too.
Well, I
And
mean,
Azada.
like if we go into like hidden object games, I mean they're all first-person.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
kind of
but
different.
it's not really a
Yeah.
hidden
Mystery
object.
Legends,
That's a
Phantom
hidden
of the
object
Opera.
/ adventure.
The only first-person adventure-type games I've ever come across are like crappy Flash ones, like on your free video game website, whatever, that you come across, and they're like,
Yeah, like GameCola.com. Don't go there. Don't give them traffic.
So what were our suggestions? Do we actually have any real ones?
I actually don't have any. Mr. Adventure game. I got nothing.
Oh,
It was Dream Chronicles, because that's a first-person adventure game. Or Azada. Or actually Drawn, the Drawn series. That's a good one, but I think the Aubrey would have problems with it because it does have smooth animation. Okay, question. What about a game such as like Age of Enigma, Secret of the Seventh Ghost, where it's first person most of the time, but during all the cutscenes it's third person?
I think that counts. I think that would be okay.
Okay, then
If
I'd
I could
recommend
put words
that.
in Aubrey's mouth.
nice. So should we go on to the next one then?
Yeah. Sorry, Aubrey.
Nice. So we got an email from Anna.
Hi.
It says, I remember cables. I just never had one because I had no friends when I was that young. Sad face. Anyway, question time. Did you ask for games for Christmas? If so, did you get them? That is all. So Anna, did you get any games for Christmas?
I did in fact get games for Christmas. I got Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword, and I bought the first 2 Monkey Island games for the iPad.
Oh.
Oh, horrible decision
Oh.
there, Anna.
No,
We're not
no, I
having
like
this discussion
them.
again.
I like
Bad
them.
decision. Bad.
Good. It was a good decision. Hush.
Now, to give some,
Context?
yes, thank you, to the cables thing, I think we were having a discussion about using the
Game Boy.
Yeah, the Game Boy with the link cable versus
Yeah.
using the infrared or using the Wi-Fi or whatever.
Yeah.
So, for those who...
I used to have cables.
I still have mine.
I
For both the
probably
Game Boy
still-
Color and the Game Boy Advance, which is fairly amazing.
Yeah.
I probably still have it somewhere, but I have no idea what happened to it. I got the action replays with my Fire Red, and my brother got his with his Leaf Green, and we abandoned our link cables forever.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Okay, well, I mean, have they made a Legends of the Hidden Temple game for the Wii yet?
oh man, dude, they should. They should, like, you should move the Wiimote to try to stack the Silver
The
Monkey.
Silver Monkey? Yeah. We are not answering Anna's question here.
Like,
but that's what I asked for Christmas.
That's what you asked.
Perfect.
My apologies.
The gift we only hope is realized before Christmas.
yes. Well, he's asking a designer to create that game. Oh man.
Jetty.
Yes, me. That's a game I should make. Okay.
You could probably buy the license for like $1. Nickelodeon's not doing anything with it.
Okay, next email.
I mean, what is Kirk Fogg doing? Could we get him on the podcast, Jetty?
Probably.
So, okay, put that on your list of notes for people to try to woo. Rick Moranis, Kirk Fogg.
Wait, are these all going to be in Jetty's FMV game that he's working on?
You know, I think if you could get Rick Moranis and Kirk Fogg in his FMV game, I think that would be good.
Yeah.
No, but wait though, because I thought all of the candidates for dating, they were all Jetty. So how do we work Rick Moranis? Like, is Rick Moranis the main character?
Rick Moranis is the wingman.
He's the Jetty with a different voice.
We'll see, and then Kirk Fogg could be like my rival, or like the bad guy.
I love this game.
Oh gosh, it's starting to sound like Harvest Moon, but everyone is the same character.
Well, isn't that how Harvest Moon always works?
Yes. Okay, next email.
I did not get to talk about the games I got for Christmas.
No, oh, I'm sorry. What games did you get for Christmas? Did you ask?
I got the 2 Mario 3DS games, and I got Zero Escape.
Oh.
The Mario games were awesome.
Okay, so did anyone else get games for Christmas? Because I did.
Wait. You didn't get Sticker Star, did you?
No, I did not.
I got Sticker Star, and can I complain about this game, or would that just take time?
Everyone's entitled to an opinion, so
I can always
by all
cut it
means.
out.
It's an RPG game, and they got rid of everything that makes RPGs good. So
Oh yeah, I think you complained about.
there are
it
no
before.
members. There are no members in your party, and you have no experience points.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't gain levels.
Yeah, you told me about this.
And in every
it's
single
not-
battle, there's no attack button. You have to use an item.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not an RPG anymore.
You can't defend. It's like, well, say you can't damage the enemy. Well, you have to waste your item on him because you can't defend.
See, what I find strange about this is with the Wii Paper Mario, they already, they perfected the Mario RPG by taking the RPG out, completely. There's no you just jump on things. That was great. It was just like a platformer with story.
And then they added, little RPG elements into it.
Yes.
And then Sticker Star, I have sharing some of Michael's sense. It's like how Super Paper Mario is sort of Mario with RPG elements. Sticker Star is like RPG Mario without the RPG elements. So it's still got the framework of the battles and stuff, but in terms of actual I was battling all of the enemies, and then half an hour later I'm like, what am I gaining from this?
Yes.
Yeah, I eventually
coins.
got to the point where I skip every random encounter because all that happens is you lose your items
And you get
and
coins,
HP.
which you would just use to buy more items.
That's
Anyway.
right, because you get health boost as you go along in the overworld, not through actual experience. So there is no leveling up. It's just, hey, find things.
It's just as you play the game randomly decides, here you go, have this. And it's not like you're ever really hard pressed for coins, because you get 100 of them every time you beat a level, and the levels are pretty short, especially if you're skipping all the enemies.
Thinking about it like that, honestly, I'm trying to compare it to something, and the best thing I can come up with is it's like Zelda 2 if the mechanics were like Zelda 1. That's the best comparison I can make. It's like Zelda 2 without the experience.
Interesting. Oh.
You find things.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because, everything you do, you don't get through experience, you get it through finding it.
Yeah.
Which is how Zelda 1 worked, but Zelda 2's got everything, running around thinking it's an RPG, when in reality it kind of is and isn't at the same time.
Oh man, I liked, Zelda 2 was one of my favorites. I really liked Zelda 2.
I am Error.
He was Error.
I like Zelda 2. It's a perfectly good game. But no, I was going to say one of my problems with the Paper Mario Sticker Star is, well, you can only have, say, 20 items in your inventory. And so I constantly run up against, well, my inventory's full, but, I want to get another item.
So, is it time?
No comment. But yeah, I mean, it's well, I don't want to waste items. I think that's my problem.
I hate using things in RPGs. They'll give you an elixir or something that recovers you fully I'll never use it. Like, I'll get through the entire game and just have, like, 12 of them.
You might need it later.
Exactly, so why would I use it now?
It's one of those emergency things you just accumulate that you only use in the final boss fight.
Yeah.
And only because you ran out of magic.
Yeah.
No, don't use it on the final boss. There might be a secret boss.
Yeah, it's true. Like,
Yeah,
they know if he's going to come back again.
Game. There could be 6 more bosses coming up.
Yeah, like, he could come back bigger and red.
Yeah.
Like,
or he could look like a
Oh
giant...
dear. Recolors of Doom.
That's another problem with Paper Mario Sticker Star. I think the boss battles are kind of weird, crazy, because there's nothing, because it's just like a normal battle, except, well, you have an enemy which has like 300 hit points rather than an enemy with 20.
And you're just supposed to, use one of the powerful stickers that they give you.
Yeah.
It's just like, use one of those. Don't use strategy, just use one of those.
Uh-huh. So, I mean, I'm stuck on the second boss of the game. I don't think I'll ever be able to finish. The one in the Yoshi world, or whatever you call it.
so is it time for the next email?
Probably.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Lindsay Clarkson sends in food for thought. Or maybe just a snack for thought.
Food. Oh.
Yes, maybe just a snack for thought. If this turns out to be a stupid, pointless question, I apologize. But who do you think would win in a court battle? Phoenix Wright or Carson Drew?
Ooh.
Carson Drew being Nancy Drew's father.
Oh.
He is a prosecutor, and he's apparently a pretty good lawyer.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, but his
Actually,
rival...
that's a really good question.
Carson Drew has an established rival, and it's not Phoenix Wright. So, I
just did a quick Google search for Phoenix Wright Carson Drew, in case this has come up in fan fiction before. One of the top responses was Michael's blog.
Oh.
Well.
Please visit my blog. Yes. I would say it depends on which version of Carson Drew. I mean, just like anything else, because there have been like 4 different Nancy Drew series, and in some versions he's super awesome, and in other versions
he's a piano
sort
bum.
of like the PC games, he's completely absent.
Yeah, he's a piano bum who all of his friends left him and has a beard, plays piano.
Also, the case might play a factor. I don't know. I guess cases might not be that important in court.
I think Carson Drew could. Well, Carson prepares for his cases.
Bad guys cheat. Would Carson Drew cheat?
I don't think he cheats because his daughter Nancy always gets the right criminal.
Well, that's it then. I mean, if he's not willing to cheat, then he's not going to win, bottom line.
Oh.
How many times has somebody defeated Phoenix by cheating, besides for the one that got him fired and turned him into a bomb?
That's the only time he's been defeated, period.
Yeah, but...
That we know of.
Well, unless you lose the game.
I guess they probably don't make games about the cases that he loses, also.
Probably about a handful of those times he also probably forgot how to, juror a case, like at the start of... Yeah. He's probably done it more than once, I'm sure. Quick blow to the noggin and, whoa boy, we've been down this route before.
Does it really count as cheating when Phoenix got fired? Because Clavier wasn't intentionally doing that.
Yeah, but, I mean, they were using fabricated evidence.
I mean, his brother set him up so he would catch Phoenix and get Phoenix fired.
Well, okay, bottom line, the only reason he lost was because there was cheating involved. If Carson Drew has some unseemly friends who would cheat on his behalf, maybe, or some sort of associate that would plant some false evidence and
unseemly rapscallions.
Yes, those darn Hardy Boys.
Yikes.
But Carson is on good terms with the Hardy Boys, so yeah.
All of my Nancy Drew knowledge.
Alright, so that was all of the fan mail that we got. So do we want to do some housekeeping?
Oh, sure, why not? Alright, I have a to-do list for everyone who's listening to this podcast at home. First, I want everyone to follow us on Twitter. What's our Twitter address?
At GameCola.
And
GC.net, right?
No. Jetty had it right. All right,
darn it!
You're thinking of the YouTube channel.
YouTube channel, gc.net, the letters GC, and the words dot and net.
Yes.
If you've enjoyed this podcast, you can also find us on iTunes. If you're not listening there already, subscribe, rate us high. If you don't like us, we're not on iTunes.
Yeah.
So check out our actual internet website, GameCola.net.
Have we actually gotten a rating or a review on iTunes?
Not in like 6 months, no. So anyone who's listening right now, if you have not yet rated the podcast, you now have to.
It is your mission.
It is your mission. You are not allowed to listen to another podcast until you rate us on iTunes.
Yeah.
Review us would also be nice, but at least rate us. We've done so much for you.
I know.
Honestly. Check out our website, GameCola.net. Also, if you'd like to send us a letter, have us discuss something that is of interest to you on the podcast, email us at podcast@GameCola.net. Finally, one last bit of housekeeping. If you'd like to appear on the podcast itself, like our friend Saxdude did today, just friend Alex Jed on Skype, and if you ever see him online, bug him, because he's probably podcasting.
Yeah, more than likely.
Or starring on, Ghost Trick.
Either that, or as long as if you're on Jetty's friends list, then we might just randomly call you and bring you into the show, completely out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yup.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Paul, Franzen, and Michael.
Podcast over. Podcast over.
And Saxdude.
Yes?
Oh, thank you for being here. Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
I'm paying attention. Whoops.
Yes. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Podcast.
Yeah.
This is over.
Point. Program brought to you by the Eagle Hand Laundry. If your eagle's hands are dirty, well, wash them clean. Why did I use that Daffy Duck line of all of them? Brought to you by Truth or Ah!